There's been a lot of talk lately about whether Russia will invade Ukraine. Adam Something has a great analysis of the situation on his channel. For my part, I wanted to draw attention to an aspect which I haven't seen talked about so much, which is how Russia might justify an invasion. You see, historically at least, it doesn't like to be seen as the aggressor, even if in reality it is. In essence, it tends to want an excuse to act, so that it can claim that it had no other option. We saw this in Georgia back in 2008. Russia invaded the country and took some of its land, but only after local separatists thought to be aligned with Russia put pressure on Georgia to make it deploy its troops. That was Russia's excuse. It didn't want to just invade, it wanted its invasion to be seen as a defensive action to help local people, even if it just wanted to invade all along. Fast forward to 2014 and Russia wanted an excuse to invade Crimea. Instead of transparently invading the region, it sent forces which became known as Little Green Men. They were Russian troops but had no identification markings, and Russia initially denied any connection to them. It wanted it to look like Crimean citizens were simply rising up to break free of Ukraine. And it took a similar approach for the rest of Ukraine, destabilizing the Donbas region in particular. Again, instead of formally invading, it wanted it to look like local people were simply rebelling against their government. But in reality, Russia was discreetly sustaining the conflict between the separatists and the Ukrainian government by providing material and other support to the separatists. Of course, things could be different this time around. Perhaps Russia may drop its act and just transparently invade Ukraine. But there isn't much to suggest a change of approach. Just as in the past, Russia claims that it's simply doing military exercises and has no malicious intent for Ukraine. So one thing to watch out for over the coming weeks is whether Russia tries to find or create a pretext to invade. I could be wrong, but I feel that it can't pull off the Little Green Men strategy again. Ukraine knows what that looks like now and is much better able to confront it. Two potential options come to mind, and there may be more. To start with, Russia could use the separatists in Donbas to draw Ukrainian forces into a conflict, or even have them stage a false flag event like a war crime. Russia could then intervene, disingenuously claiming that it's bringing peace to the region and protecting civilians. Putin laid some of the groundwork for this in December when he compared the situation in the region to a genocide. And while I was making this video, the separatists were making some worrying moves, evacuating civilians from their territory while a vehicle exploded outside one of their buildings. Alternatively, Russia could also put Ukraine into a difficult position where Ukraine fires the first shot. That could enable Russia to claim that it's merely acting in self-defense, even though the truth is quite different. Hopefully Ukraine could combat these tactics, but it's obviously a very delicate and challenging situation. Let me know what you think in the comments.